Welcome to GESARA for Dummies. It is the 26th of March 2025. Let's look at today's news from Professor William Liebenberg. Please like, share and subscribe. Join our Telegram group in the comments below. Also, see in comments attached links. Thank you. Let's go. The GESARA law. Russia is developing a new satellite capable of carrying a nuclear weapon, a U.S. intelligence report reveals. The Ukrainian right sector and its military wing are now considered terrorist organizations in Russia. Formed as paramilitary shock troops for the Euromaidan coup, the neo-Nazi organization committed numerous war crimes in the Donbass and joined Ukraine's military in 2022. The president of South Africa, Ramaphosa, had a 180-degree turn in attitude towards America's pressure, stating about the U.S. aid cut, "It's their money, but a wake-up call for us to be self-reliant and acknowledge that the U.S. is South Africa's second-largest trading partner and the SA ambassador must be replaced with a top-class representative." Q Military Intelligence Post 4011 of April 30, 2020 states. Crossfire Hurricane. Crossfire Typhoon. Crosswind. Class 1 to 99. Unreleased. Redacted. Question. You didn't think the statement by POTUS regarding calm before the storm was just random, did you? Transparency brings accountability. Crossfire Hurricane was the code name for the cabal's counterintelligence investigation undertaken by the corrupt FBI from July 31, 2016, to May 17, 2017, into Donald Trump's presidential campaign and falsely trying to prove the Trump presidential team with Russia rigged and manufactured the election. Now, President Trump just signed a presidential memorandum requiring the immediate declassification of all FBI files relating to the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. The worms are coming out. On another note, just in, South African President Ramaphosa says the claim that white people are being persecuted in South Africa is a completely false narrative. Ramaphosa then explains the following 140 racist laws against whites. Land expropriation without compensation targeting white farmers. Whites can have business contracts unless they surrender 51% of their business to a black partner. No jobs for whites due to black economic empowerment regulations. Question. Why do both America and Russia openly welcome white farmers? America all Afrikaner refugees? Your own ambassadors and members of parliament make outright racist statements, even targeting President Trump, allowing blacks to freely sing the song "Kill a Boer, Kill a Farmer," not speaking out about white farm murders nor clamping down on them. Crimes against humanity where white farmers with their spouses and children are all raped, brutally tortured and murdered. Shall I continue? NB. Some arrests are coming soon. South Africa is also mentioned in this US video. Crimes of this nature could be filed internationally. Time is running out for the real racist criminals. Payment systems. Question. What's next after Ripple's latest victory against the SEC? Some legal experts, though, explained that the case has not officially concluded yet. U.S. lawyer Jeremy Hogan suggested that the bad stuff is over, but Ripple can now prolong the tussle in various ways. One scenario includes an appeal of the $125 million penalty that Judge Torres ordered the company to pay due to violating certain securities laws. Breaking, the SEC and Ripple have agreed to drop their remaining appeals, with Ripple recovering $75 million from escrow and the SEC keeping $50 million. marking a likely final resolution to the long-running case. Waiting for this catalyst. The developments in the case have caused huge volatility in XRP's price over the years, but it seems that this factor may no longer play a role in the asset's potential bull run. The Ripple community now expects the possible launch of a spot XRP exchange-traded fund, ETF, in the US to be the next catalyst. The well-known companies that have already displayed their intentions to introduce such a product include Grayscale, Bitwise, 21 Shares, and more. The SEC acknowledged some of the applications, and in the following months, it had to give its final green light or rejection. A potential ETF approval will allow investors to gain exposure to XRP without dealing with crypto exchanges or worrying about self-custody. This would bring more people into the ecosystem and create upward pressure on the price in the long term. ETF is then step 6 to be ticked off of the critical 17 steps for XRP to boom. Just in, Circle is set to officially launch its stablecoin in Japan on March 26. Regulatory approval secured. Japan is opening doors to a digital currency that is fully backed by US dollar assets adoption. Will this spark a new wave of stablecoin adoption? In Asia, Vietnam apparently has a new stablecoin, which is pegged to the dong. Its tag is VNST. They intend to be the top nation in Southeast Asia for crypto by 2030. They have a deal through SBI for cross-border payments using XRP to trade between Japan, Indonesia, and the Philippines. They are expected to revalue in the first basket currencies along with IQD and IDR. Brics GESARA Nations Alliance. Will Trump's unpredictable foreign policy boost Brics? If Turkey and Saudi Arabia follow Indonesia in joining the bloc, they could gain more geopolitical heft. As Brazil prepares to host this year's Brics summit in July, the bloc is celebrating a historic expansion. Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey were all strong candidates for Brics membership. Indonesia is the largest economy in Southeast Asia and is strategically positioned in the Indo-Pacific. Saudi Arabia is the world's top oil exporter and a key player in the Middle East. If it receives a membership invitation, Turkey would be the first NATO member to join Brics. Each of these three countries has navigated its relations with Brics differently. All three offer valuable insights into Brics' evolving role in the international system and how emerging powers are hedging their bets amid geopolitical uncertainty. Brics' growing membership suggests that the bloc is attracting diverse economies eager to align themselves with an alternative to Western-led institutions. If Turkey and Saudi Arabia eventually join as members, it could indicate broader shifts in the global order. It would reveal whether Brics' membership enhances strategic autonomy or complicates ties to Western partners for policymakers in Ankara and Riyadh. Brics will create payment system based on digital currencies and blockchain. For some time now, the Brics grouping has been making efforts to reduce its reliance on US dollars in settlements. Brics is working on creating a payment system based on blockchain and digital technologies, a Russian report said. We believe that creating an independent Brics payment system is an important goal for the future, which will be based on state-of-the-art tools such as digital technologies and blockchain. The main thing is to make sure it is convenient for governments, ordinary people and businesses, as well as cost-effective and free of politics. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said. The effort is part of a specific task for this year to increase the role of Brics in the international monetary system. For some time now, the Brics grouping has been making efforts to reduce its reliance on US dollars in settlement, also known as de-dollarization. Work will continue to develop the contingent reserve arrangement, primarily regarding the use of currencies different from the US dollar, Ushakov said. Last week, another TASS report said Russia's finance ministry, the Bank of Russia and Brics partners are creating the Brics Bridge multi-sided payment platform in an effort to improve the global monetary system. Also in February, Klaas Knott, the chair of the Financial Stability Board, which keeps an eye on the global financial system, wrote to finance ministers from the Group of 20, G20, countries that crypto assets, tokenization and artificial intelligence remain priorities. NB. The financial world is witnessing an unprecedented shift as stablecoins become the battleground for economic dominance. Max Kaiser believes gold-backed stablecoins will soon outcompete traditional USD stablecoins, aligning with the broader trend of banks and fintech firms joining the stablecoin gold rush, as per the Financial Times. Max Kaiser stated that Brics, driven by China, Russia, and India, will push the adoption of a gold-backed stablecoin to fight the hegemonic US dollar stablecoin. The former will have the advantage of being inflation-resistant, he assessed. Question: what if Trump coordinated with the Brics alliance as the external force to obliterate the cabal's fiat dollar so that he could step in as the hero and save the day with the new Ripple dollar RLUSD gold stablecoin? The Seven Kingdoms. Vice President Vance flips the script and is going to Greenland with his wife. There's so much excitement around Usha's visit to Greenland. Question: do you hear some sarcasm there? Question: why is it so important for the Vice President to visit Greenland? Currency wars. Zimbabwe may scrap US dollar for local transactions without notice. The government has warned that it may scrap the US fiat dollar for local transactions without notice in a bid to enforce acceptance of the Zimbabwe gold (ZiG) currency. Justice Minister Ziambai on Wednesday stated that the government was working on eliminating the US dollar in favor of exclusive use of the local currency, a move that could be implemented without prior notice. Addressing legislators in Parliament, Ziambai emphasized the need to prioritize the ZiG and build internal confidence in its value. Ziambai warned, as a country, we want to use our local currency, which is what we want to internalize. The latest warning from the government signals a possible shift towards a fully local currency-based economy, a move that could have significant economic ramifications. The gold-backed ZiG is getting anchored. Zimbabwe is getting ready for Operation Sandman. Currently, cryptocurrency, gold, dollar, and XRP are each moving in the direction that needs to happen in order for artificial intelligence to take the reins and move us forward. Reciprocal tariffs will now be able to do their job and level the playing field with all the currencies around the world. These elements will force the RV and then the GCR. The RV and GCR do not depend on the decision of a single person. No, it is the system that dictates the unfolding and maturing of events to force the RV and GCR. The bond payouts do not depend on the system. No, the bond payout depends on a single person. M1 to sign a certain trust account that provides liquidity for all the other humanitarian trusts. The bond payouts are only for bondholders, while the RV is only for currency holders. For example, dinar, dong, bolivar, etc. are two different events and the bond payout will proceed. The RV with no indication sign at all, whilst the dinar revaluation is the definite sign for the currency RV. Worst case scenario, they will happen simultaneously. That sums up your Wednesday news. See you tomorrow.